So what this lesson is going to do, it's going to run through some items within a spreadsheet, and it's going to add them in as calendar entries. So first of all, it's going to check to see if there's any conflicts. If there's no conflicts, it'll send out the email as the booking confirmation is done, and it'll add the item within the calendar. So there we've got the items in the calendar. This one is already there. So if we were to do the project kickoff and run it again, it should add it in to the project kickoff area, and we'll also send out an email confirming that that booking has been added in. And that's how you can create a custom booking system using GoogleAppsScript. Coming up. Open up your spreadsheet. We're going to add in some dummy data. So the resource name, the event, the start time, the end time, the email address of the person that's making the booking. Open up your bound script. Open up your Google script, and then this is where we're going to create the function where it's going to book the resource. And what we need to do, first we need to select the sheet with the data. So let's go ahead and we're going to do that using the spreadsheet app service. We're getting the active spreadsheet, and then we're getting the sheet by name. So get sheet by name, and the name of the sheet that we're looking for is going to be booking. So make sure that it corresponds. So I've got booking there. So make sure that we correspond with what the sheet that we want to use. We want to get all of the rows of data. So let's get the rows from the sheet object. And then using the get data range, this is going to return back all of the available data within the spreadsheet. And then we get the values. So returning that within an array. You can see the values there within the log. We see we've got the data there selected from the spreadsheet, so we're ready to continue. Let's go through each one of the rows. So for rows, and we'll use for each in order to iterate through each one of the rows. So we've got the row, and then we've got the index value that we want to return back and utilize within the function. We want to check to see if the index is equal to 0, and if it is, or if it's going to be has a value of booked, then we don't want to book it again. So we're going to make sure that we're checking for that, and if any one of these is true, then we're going to return and we're going to end the function. And just save that, just got rid of the extra bracket there. And under the one with index value of 5, that's going to be under the booking status. So we're going to add in booked once we make the booking. So let's go ahead and we're going to select the calendar using the calendar app service. We're going to get the calendar. So we can get the calendar by ID, or we can get the default calendar. So let's just go ahead and we're going to return the default calendar. You can also specify it by ID if you want. We're going to select the start time and use a date object, because this is going to be returned back value as a date. So row with the index value of 2, that's going to be our start time. And we also need to get the end time. So again, we're setting the date, row with an index value of 3. So it's going to give us the end time. And then the events. So let's go through the calendar, then get all of the events that are contained within the calendar, and starting from our start time and ending with the end time. So it's going to get us all of the events that are within the range of this time. We want to make sure that there's no conflicts. So events, and if events length is equal to 0, then that means that we don't have any conflicts, and we're able to create the calendar entry. So we use the calendar object, create an event. Object is going to require a title. So the title is contained with row index value of 1. We've got our start time, we've got our end time, and then what we want to do is we want to update the value within the sheet. So we select the sheet object, we get the range where we want to write to, and the range is going to be index value plus 1. And because the rows start at 0, we want to just add 1 to it, and value of 6. So this is where we're going to set the new value through, we mark it as booked. Let's use the mail app, and we'll send an email. The email address is going to be contained within row index value of 4, and then whatever we're confirming the row as, and then we can return back that value. So it sends out the email. So let's select one of these items and make sure that we don't have booked there, otherwise we're not going to be able to add it to the calendar, and we'll see what happens. So right now we didn't have any conflicts, it wasn't booked, and we see that we've got a booking confirmation. So we've got a project kickoff booking confirmation for March 15th at 9 a.m. And now if we try to run it again, we're not going to get another email because we've already got that item booked. So it's going to just skip over that. So let's add in the other two, and we'll run the code again. And even if there's a conflict, it's not going to add any additional bookings. So we've got our design meeting, and we've got our team sync. So those are now added into the calendar. And because they're marked as booked, they're not going to get booked again. And also because they're already there, we're going to have some conflicts. So it's not going to try to book it if there are conflicts for the times that it's booked. If it does make the booking, it sends out the email. And then you can, of course, customize these messages, customize the event details as needed in order to set up your own booking resource.